When you run out of yarn and you're ready to switch colors, I recommend leaving yourself a little bit of extra yarn on the edge that is about the size of your hand. That way it's easy to add another color. This yarn I was using is the ombre yarn, so you can see it sort of went from white to green, but I'm gonna add a dark green now for some contrast. So I have my dark green yarn. I'm gonna find the end. I'm gonna get the end of my other yarn and I'm just gonna line those up together. Okay, now what I'm gonna do next is just wrap those around my finger, making that letter O to make a knot, and then pushing and pulling these through, and that ties them together. Very easy way to tie your yarn together. Make sure it's nice and tight before you cut that end off. And then you're ready to keep going with your weaving. And you'll see now that my pattern is still the same. It's just that now I'm gonna have a nice contrasting color of yarn to add to my weaving. So you can change colors as often as you want. You can stick with the same color. This project can take you up to a week to finish. I know it's a little bit longer of a project, rolling all those tubes and learning how to do the weaving, so take your time, and you could spend the whole week weaving on your tube because it's a nice, relaxing project. At least I find it very relaxing. It's that pattern that your brain can kind of relax into and just enjoy. When you are out of yarn or you're done weaving, I'll show you how to end this. Now I could keep going, but for the sake of my demonstration, I'm gonna stop. It is nice to leave the newspaper or the magazines that you use showing. It shows your structure and your process, and these can be nice decorations when they're finished. So what I'm gonna do, I have a little end of yarn here. I'm just gonna bring that around to the back, finish weaving that until I really run out of yarn. And I can take just a little piece of tape. Clear tape again is my favorite for this, but masking tape will work. And I'm gonna tape that onto just the back of my project onto the newspaper too, or the magazine tube. Now I can take my scissors and trim off any pieces of yarn that I don't want to make this project look nice. And finally, if you have any embellishments that you want to glue onto this, you can use things like beads, feathers, natural things that you find to kind of enhance your work. So I found some green beads that I thought might look kind of nice with mine. So this always works best with the liquid glue because it's going to hold better than a glue stick. Hot glue is also great if you have an adult to help you with that and you have one at your house. Otherwise, the liquid glue works just fine. You do need to set this aside and let it dry before you pick it up and move it. And voila, there is the process for weaving on magazine tubes.